What is good, guys? It's your boy Ray J back with another video, and in this video I'm going to be doing a quick technical analysis of Tesla. I'm going to talk about the overall stock price movement today and what the news is saying about Tesla before I give you guys my stock price prediction for tomorrow and the near-term future. I'm also going to be doing the same thing about NEO, but before I get started, I have to mention two quick things. First off, I'm not a financial, legal, or taxation expert, so don't take this as financial, legal, or taxation advice. And also, if you can, please smash that like button if you want to see more videos like this, and not only benefits me, but benefits the entire community as a whole. With that all said and done and out of the way, let's get on with the technical analysis of Tesla. So, looking at the 1 day, 1 minute chart, you can see that Tesla did not have really much of a big day today. It did drop just slightly, but overall, it was a pretty decent day, and it did close in the green, so that's a good sign. And it closed exactly, almost exactly where I predicted it would close. I predicted Tesla would be around the $754 to $753 range, and it ended up closing at 753.64. So my prediction was correct, and it did just have a slight green move, just as we had anticipated, guys. So that's good. I'm not going to brag and say I'm perfect because there are many times I'm wrong as well. But looking at it from a Bollinger standpoint, which is what I want to bring up right now, you could see that Tesla had some significant moves in the upside. It went as high as $758 a share today before it had another drop down to $747.95, and it was in the red for quite some time. But then we got to see some consolidation. It began to consolidate quite a bit, jumping back and forth, and the consolidation, in my opinion, had quite a bit of volatility relative to before, but overall, it was doing quite well, in my opinion. It did close a little bit below the mean price, but despite that, it still ended up in the green. The mean price was at $754, and it still was in the green. But you could see that Tesla had many instances where it touched the upper band so many times, which showed that it had that buying pressure that it needed. But you can look at other indicators such as RSI data, which shows that there were many instances where it touched the upper band, and that's because of the buying pressure that Tesla tends to have. And that's good, guys, because people like you and me, we see the potential in Tesla. Now, overall, the Dow Jones, the Nasdaq, and the S&P, they also had quite a bit of a good day today. It is in the recovery period after the panic that happened regarding Evergrande, but despite that, Tesla is still doing well, and I do think that tomorrow it should continue on the path it is on. But before I get into specific details about Tesla, I have some breaking news that has been announced. It's been all over the news, and that's the fact that Tesla's battery manufacturing mega factory has broken its ground in California. I repeat, Tesla just opened a new mega factory in California, and they're getting ready to start producing new batteries right over there. And it's going to be in a small northern Californian city of Lathrop. It's near Tesla's automobile plant in Fremont, and it's home to over Tesla's 870,000 square foot distribution center. So that's big news for the share price, which means Tesla could have had an even bigger day today. But overall, guys, it was a good day. And let's just go into more specific details about what has been happening right now. So you can see this picture right over here of Tesla's mega factory that's just beginning to break ground. And that's huge because people attacked Tesla when Elon Musk moved out of California. But despite that, it doesn't mean that they've cut all ties. They still have the Fremont factory. They still have this other manufacturing factory coming up, and it's absolutely huge. And this will particularly focus on their battery technology. It says right over here, the new factory is a positive signal for the automakers growing energy division as opposed to the Powerwall, which is a home consumer battery product. The Mega Pack is meant for utility scale energy storage. Utilities building solar and wind farms are increasingly pairing with these large batteries to store excess energy to discard to the grid later. Just last week, the Arizona Electric Unit Salt River Project bought online a 100 megawatt hour mega pack project. So if that does not seem like big news to you guys, it's big news because Tesla is now improving their energy sector technology, and that's going to be absolutely insane for the future. And this could have brought even more investors, shareholders to become excited, and more investors coming in, more institutionalized investors as well. So I want you guys to know that this is not necessarily a small thing. This is going to be absolutely huge because their battery pack is not only going to be used for Teslas, but they're an energy company as well. And it's something that's often overlooked. Tesla is also an energy company. They're going to basically store energy, whether it's green energy from solar panels, whether it's from wind. They're going to use their batteries to store energy and then use it up later. And they have been starting to do this in Texas, and now they're going to be doing it probably in other parts of the US, such as Arizona and maybe even California. So that's huge, huge, huge news. It was also mentioned that the co founder of Tesla has been working on helping to decrease the carbon emission. The amount of carbon emissions that are used for the batteries in their production phase. So that's huge, absolutely huge. They're doing great things for the world as a whole. They're improving both the battery, the energy, and the AI sectors of our market. They have made lots and lots of progress for their full self-driving technology, no matter what the media says. So I'm super, super bullish. And it was noted, and this is something you guys should know, in the fact that Tesla Inc. stock rises Thursday, still underperforms market. So yeah, I'll be honest with you guys. Tesla did not have like an insanely big day today. It was up 0.23%, which is good in my opinion. But compared to the overall market, it did somewhat underperform, but that's a-okay, guys. It's still a green day, and Tesla still has much, much, much more room in the future. But seeing this, guys, MarketWatch didn't say that Tesla stock rises Thursday. They have to attack it in some way and say that it underperforms the market. Yeah, and even if that is somewhat true today, it's still a green day. It's still doing well, and there were still big pieces of news. Why don't they talk about the big piece of news that came out? Why do they have to say this? But anyways, guys, when it comes to the overall share price, it was up 0.23%. It closed at $753 on Thursday, and that actually proved people wrong. A lot of people thought Tesla would crash back down to $700 or the $600 range, but people were causing all this FUD, all this fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And it's important to know that Tesla was once at $900 this year. If I pull up the 1 year chart, you can see Tesla was at $900, and Tesla it's basically trying to get back to that range. But then there are abnormalities out there, such as the overall market, other things like that, the fear, the media, all these things are trying to bring the company down, bash it. There was a global chip shortage, which is still affecting the company, but they're trying to bash this company, yet it's still stair stepping its way up and doing quite well. I mean, you could even bring up a Fibonacci retracement chart right over here. Let's just bring it up real quick. And the reason I'm going to bring it up is it could show you the levels of support and resistance that Tesla tends to have. And why am I bringing it up? Once again, you could see that Tesla is still stepping its way up, and it has quite a bit of resistance at around the $769 range. That's where Tesla was up towards April, and Tesla is just fighting to get back to that range. And I do think that Tesla would approach that and reach that if it wasn't for all of the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and other things bringing the price somewhat down. But I'm still super, super bullish. So do not get me wrong when I say that. I'm still very, very bullish. Now, there are lots of fake articles out there, and I know I'm calling them fake, but it's true. They're saying that ARK's Kathy Wood says she would sell Tesla stock if it reaches this price. I never heard her say that. I heard her say that she'd consider selling parts of it, even like recently, but she and ARK do this all the time. They sell some of it, they buy more, they sell and buy depending on what's going on in the overall market. So simply stating that she's done with it after it hits, $3,000 a share, yeah, does that mean she's crazy? Does that mean Tesla's a sell? Of course not. That's not what she's ever said. She never said that Tesla is a sell. She never said that if Tesla's at a certain price that she would just give up on it. She simply states that she has a price target, and when it hits that price, she might be ready for other ventures out there, but that doesn't mean she'd give up on it. That's a big difference. It's an important thing to note. But anyways, guys, when it comes to my overall share price, I think that Tesla's going to continue and have maybe a bit of a green day tomorrow. It was green for the majority of the day. It did close a little bit lower than where it was. So relative to the trend line, I think Tesla should be around $755 a share when it closes. Once again, just slowly getting a little bit higher, but I do think the closing is going to be a little bit strong because Tesla did not have a huge day today. The overall market had a better day than Tesla for once. I know I hate to say that, but it's true for the most part. And even though that happened, I'm still very, very bullish. So it doesn't matter what happens tomorrow, guys. Tesla is a long-term play. Wait till Tesla, where Tesla's going to be in 1 year from now. Wait till you see Tesla in 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. It's going to be huge. So I still believe in this company. I still see it as the future, and that's why I'm still bullish in the long term. Even if I have small price predictions for tomorrow, such as the 2 day swing, it's a-okay, guys. Give it time. But looking at Neo was on an overall upward trajectory just somewhat, and it did close at $36.01 a share. There were not any like super significant moves that happened except for the very beginning where it was at its peak at 36.50. There was a bit of consolidation that happened around this phase right over here, which means Neo became really comfortable around the mid $35 level of range. Now, I predicted that Neo would close at 36 flat. It ended up closing at 36.01, but that was actually not too difficult to predict because there wasn't anything huge that happened in the market. But you could see that towards the very end, Neo was a little bit down at the $35 range, and there was a lot of buying pressure. You could see that it ended up touching the upper band of its RSI data multiple times, and that's a good sign. The closing was a little bit weak, but overall, it still did well, and I am still bullish both near term and long term for Neo. So why am I even more bullish? And that's the fact that Neo, the company Neo, it has revealed that they launched a hybrid cell battery pack. Now, why is that big news? Why on earth did they do this? It's big news because this gives them more and more room to improve their company as a whole. It was announced that they have a 75 kilowatt standard range hybrid cell battery pack, which replaces the previous 70 kilowatt battery option, which means a stronger battery, which most likely has longer range. It's going to perform a lot better, more acceleration, all that good stuff. So that's great news for the company. They're innovating their battery, which gives more and more potential for longer range, and it mentions it right over here. It increases the range for the ES8, the ES6, and the EC6 by at least 7%. So that's literally absolutely awesome. The energy density has been increasing as well for the battery, and that's absolutely awesome for Neo as a company and as a whole. So that may have played a role in the upward trend that started as Neo was at 550 and it ended up closing at 36. But hey, that's not absolutely significant or huge because the overall market is still not at its best place. It is in a recovery phase, and Neo is going to take a little bit longer to recover as its beta is not. Its beta tends to be above one, in my opinion. If the overall market drops like 1% or even 2%, instead of Neo dropping at 3%, it may drop at 5%. So Neo tends to be exaggerated. And when that happens, it does not matter because I'm still bullish in the long term. So, anyways, when it comes to my stock price prediction for Neo, I think tomorrow is going to be another green day, especially as this news just came out about the battery pack. Neo should maybe close around 36.20 to 36.40, somewhere around this range. And I know that that may be a little bit too bullish, but I'm still believing Neo, and I do not want to see a red day tomorrow. And it also depends on how Tesla and other EV companies do, as they tend to move together. But if Tesla's in the green, Neo should be in the green too. So, guys, I'm super bullish for both Neo and Tesla, both short term and long term. But when it comes to short term, there are nuances that can stop the momentum that they tend to build up, such as things that happen in the overall market that are out of Neo and Tesla's control. So Neo and Tesla have been doing little to nothing wrong, and when they do have red days, it's not their fault. It just happens to, have them move with the overall market. But when it comes to the long term, I'm super bullish. Like I said before, I still think that Neo could beat $100 within the next year and a half. I think that Tesla should easily break 1,000 by next year, and I'm super bullish, guys. You just have to give them time. With that said and done, guys, I'm super bullish. I really believe in these companies. I believe they're the future, and we do not just compare them. We think that they're both great companies. They're two of my favorite EV companies, and I believe in them in their future, and I believe in everyone that's trying to invest and work to improve the world as a whole. With that said and done, guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I will definitely see you tomorrow for my price prediction and my new video. Thank you, and have a great rest of the day, and peace out.